Hi everyone, this is Michael Cotton. Today we're going to be looking at selecting coins for PCGS grading and how to select good coins from rolls, and we're then actually going to send them off, and we'll release a second video down the track once they return from PCGS and let you know the results. So what we have here today, we've got our little working kit. So we've got our save flips. These are the best kind of flips to use. It's what PCGS recommends, and it's what we actually send the coins in. They contain no PVC or oil, and they're archive quality slips, so they're really good flips to use. Then we've got three rolls we're going to be opening. So we're going to be opening a 1980 double bar 50-cent roll, a 1963 sixpence roll, and a 1961 shilling roll. And what we hope to end up with is some really high grade coins that'll end up going off to PCGS and coming back in a holder like this. And what we're looking for today is in the 1980 50 cents, so there's been no MS67s graded to date, which is what we're hoping to find in the roll today. In the sixpence, we're hoping to get an MS68, which again, there's been none graded. And in the shilling, we're hoping to get an MS68 as well, which there's only been two graded to date. One of them was from us a couple of years ago, and they collectively, if we got one of each of those coins from these rolls, which is not highly likely, but we're hoping, they collectively have a value of about $3,000, maybe $4,000 in total. So amazing that those three single coins could be worth that much in total. We're going to start off with the 50-cent roll here. So one thing to look out for is that you do have an original roll. There are a lot of re-rolls out there where people have actually either opened them and looked for good grades, or they've been filled up with not so great coins, or even the wrong coins altogether. So we did have an instance a few years ago where I actually bought a 1968 1-cent roll, and upon opening it, it was actually full of circulated standard coins, and it didn't have any of the telltale signs that it had been tampered with. So a really good example of, you know, how there are so many duds out there, and you can be fooled by them. There are some really good quality operators. There's some really, good quality duds out there that's really hard to tell. So the roll looks all original, which is great. So this is the end coin. So normally they do have a little bit of toning and a little bit of residue or gunk on there, or dirt you could call it. So they're generally not a great coin for grading due to that, so we'll put him aside. So what we're looking for is, we're looking for, one, an attractive coin is a big thing. Being a pretty coin or an attractive coin is a really big bonus. The Queen's head side is the most important side to look at. They're both important, but this is probably the most important. And we're looking for coins with minimal marks, with good strike, that's attractive. Now this is an attractive coin. It's a decent strike, but it has quite a number of bag marks, so a few too many marks for us to want to send and try and get a top grade. So we'll put him aside. Again, a couple too many bad marks, a little bit better, but it's just a couple too many marks there to sort of qualify. Like, these coins would still grade quite well, like 65, maybe 64, so still not a bad grade. This is a good example where there's a couple of bigger marks, but there's also lots of really small marks. Almost, like it's sort of had a really light pebble machine gun happen to it. It's got lots of tiny marks all over the coin, which is not a good thing for grading. Again, just one too many marks on this coin, so he'll pass. A couple of big marks on this guy, including what is a scratch. So the way a lot of these marks happen is, especially with the 50 cent being a heavier coin, is coins actually fall on top of each other in the process, and they dint, and 50 cent being heavier, the dints can be quite significant. And a big bag of 50 cent coins, you can imagine moving around together, they do get a lot of little marks on them. That's why MS67 is not necessarily a crazy high grade for a coin, but in 50 cent, getting MS67s is really quite tough in the earlier series. So anything like from the 60s through to the early 80s is really quite hard in 67. This one's got some really big marks, some clear marks from being struck by another coin on the Queen's cheek there. Okay, this one's a little bit better. This one here, not quite so many bag marks. There's still a bit of marking, but we're going to put him aside here in our trade review at the end. So it's a really good idea to keep them all aside together, because it gives you the ability at the end to really review what you've put aside, which is really great, because it allows you, when you get them together and you got all the same coin together, it makes it a lot easier to see what is actually the better coin, or coins hopefully. A couple too many big bag marks there, so we'll put him aside. Likewise, some big marks there. It's actually a really nice lustrous coin, but too many marks. Again, just one too many marks here. So you can probably tell already, this is actually a really hard coin to get in decent grade. It's not as easy as people think. I think often when they see good grades in places like our auctions, and they see so many of them together, they think that they're quite prolific, but they can be really hard to obtain. There's just a lot of work goes into actually finding good coins. A lot of marks in this guy, including a couple of big marks down here on the right. Ooh, borderline coin there. I think we'll put him aside to review. We haven't got many options at this point, so it's worth putting anything aside for the minute. One too many marks here. The double bar is up here behind the emu's head, and it's two little bars. It's considered a variety that doesn't exist on the majority of the 1980 50-cent coins. And was quite uncommon to see in the mint sets, is where we can often get a lot of good quality coins. Again, one too many marks. A couple too many marks there. Some bigger marks too, in quite a few different places. So sometimes the scattering of marks too can make it look a lot worse. Some quite significant marks are both in the fields here, which is in the main just flat surfaces of the coin, and on Queen Elizabeth herself. And the lucky last coin, which will be the other end coin, so I don't know if you can see that in the picture there, but there's quite a golden tone, a little bit of residue around the edges, and again, one too many bag marks. So not a particularly amazing roll in this instance. So we've got two coins out. They're both quite bag marks, so they're definitely not going to break any records. Look, we're going to send them both off, just so we can sort of see the results and show you guys what's come out of the roll, so the best two picks from the roll. So what we'll do is we'll get our save flips here, so we'll bust this open. And then you put them into the save flips, and then they'll be good to submit off over to PCGS. The rest of the roll. So we're going to move on to the 61 shilling roll. Now this roll looks like a really nice roll. The coins on either end, although they have some toning, which is really common with the end coins, they both have really lovely luster. And Queen Elizabeth on this end doesn't have too many marks, and the fields of the coin, those flat surfaces, look really quite good. So hopefully this will be a really nice roll. Okay, we'll work off a couple of piles here in this instance, just so we don't bang them around too much. So we've got the end coin, which is that coin I was saying had lovely luster, which it really does. It does have some really good luster. It's actually a really nice coin. It would probably actually grade quite well. With the pre-decimal coins, you often see weaker strikes too, which is something to take into account that you don't see as much on some of the decimal coins. And so particularly in an issue like this, you'll see a bit of weakness in the RAM itself, and there's a bit of weakness on the bottom of the lettering here in shilling. Okay, that's a really nice coin. A great example. So Queen Elizabeth is on your RAM side here. It's actually a really beautiful coin, almost no marks whatsoever. And then on Queen Elizabeth, there's bag marks and there's little dints all over the coin. So that's a real shame. That could have been a beautiful coin. Funnily enough, we've actually got a 62 here. So there might be a mixture of dates in this roll, which is probably a sign that it potentially was open at some point. Otherwise, it's just been a bankroll that's been put together and happened to have had, which does happen. That's actually a really nice coin. We're going to put that one aside. There's minimal marks. These are really lovely coins. I think we've got a chance of getting some really nice grades out of these coins. We're actually going to have a mixture of dates here too, with the 61 and the 1962. Again, a really lovely coin. Got a nice strike, really attractive. A nice coin, but there's what I call it dusting. You have different people call it different things, but it's like it's got this light sort of fog of dust over the coin that just subdues the luster a bit. Still a really lovely coin, but a few marks and that subdued luster. We're gonna reject that guy for now. Is on here. You've got some marks on the RAM itself, and some marks on Queen Elizabeth. Enough for us to put that coin aside as a reject. Alright, quite a nice coin here. Some little marks, but really attractive. Nothing that's too detracting. Look, that's a lovely coin. We're going to put that one aside as well. Nice strike here. We've got a little mark up here on the left. A couple of little marks here, but good enough that we'll make it a part of our little selection to review. Look, one too many marks on this coin, so this one's going to be a reject. Yep, we've got a reject there. So this one here actually has a fair bit of toning and quite a few marks, so we'll leave that one aside. Look, another lovely coin. Really nice coin, that one. That one's going to go aside. A few little marks, but nothing too crazy. So a 60, we're hoping for a 68 here, which, would be amazing to get such a great grade, but 67 is also a really fantastic grade, and 62 is a really good grade as well. So funnily enough, 61 there are a lot more common in rolls, so to open this roll and find 62s is actually a really great bonus. The 62 is a much harder roll to find, so we've struck a bit of luck already here. Look, some little marks. It's a 61 this one, so we haven't had as many 61s. We've got some weakness of strike here at the bottom of the ram, but I'm going to put it aside. Another 62. One too many marks. They're a little bit bigger in this case, so we're going to reject that one. Right, we're back to some 61s here by the look of it. Look, a really nice coin, but just one too many marks. Again, quite heavily marked, this coin. And quite a few marks on the ram side. Another nice coin, but just one too many marks on that guy. Quite well struck too, so that's a shame. Really nice coin, this one. A couple of small marks. Not so much damage to the coin. There's a little bit of rubbing on the luster, which is a little bit of a different thing you got to watch out for. It's not actually damage, it's just a bit of the luster sort of worn from maybe some rubbing of coins. That one's actually quite a nice coin, so we're going to put that. So we've got a nice little collection of coins going here, so too many marks on this one, so we'll reject that one, but a really good luster on that coin, like a really nice steely luster. Oh, that one's just borderline, but I'm feeling positive today. We've got a good roll, so I think we'll put him aside. One too many marks, that was an easy one. Look, a fair bit of rubbing on this coin, but not probably enough to reject it, so we'll put that one aside as well. Okay, we've got some decent marks here, and we've got on both sides, so that's enough to rule that guy out. We've got some toning here, some dark toning. So again, toning can actually be a friend if it's really attractive, but in a case like this where it's quite dark and unattractive, it doesn't help for the grade. Some fine marks, some marks on the queen's hair and down her neck and down to the shoulder. The fields are actually quite good. A couple of marks on the ram side. I think we'll just reject that considering we've got so many nice examples here. Okay, some quite heavy marks there. So again, a really beautiful coin, so it's a shame. Okay. A little bit of weakness of strike, but not much. Overall, an attractive coin. But there's a little bit of planchet floor on the bottom right here, which can mean that it won't grade if it's got a planchet floor. So sometimes you can end up with a really amazing coin and it can have a planchet floor, which means it doesn't actually make it through the grading process, which can be really frustrating. So that one will pass on just because it's not worth the risk of it not grading. We've got a couple of big marks and some not great, some really sort of dark greyish toning. I think this might have actually been the other end of the roll. So not a great coin, that one, because of that toning. Alright, we're on the home stretch here, the last few coins. Let's hopefully we'll pull out another couple of crackers. A really nice coin, but it's got a bit of a fingerprint. So I don't think this wasn't an end coin, so it's a good example how it can be a sealed roll and you can still end up with fingerprints in there. And a couple of decent sized marks on that coin as well. Again, a couple of big marks on that one. Really beautiful luster on the ram here, so that's a shame, but okay, this looks like a really nice coin. There's a couple of marks, but nothing too significant. Yeah, look, there's a couple of extra marks here that are probably going to be a bit of a detractor and then probably not get the grade we want, but let's put it aside. This one here has a bit of a proof surfaces, a really sort of steely, bright finish, which you can get. They often can look quite proof-like, but on the Queen Elizabeth side here, we've got lots of little marks that just bring it down to a no-go for grade today. Look, a couple too many marks there. That one we're going to put aside and we're going to have a look at him with the others later. One too many marks. A lot of this is also just getting a feel for it, you know, looking, I've probably graded something crazy like 100,000 coins or something now over the last 5 years, so I've really seen a lot of coins. So it seems really quite easy when I look at it like this, but it does take time to develop the skill and you've just got to commit a bit of time to getting used to it, getting to know the coins, getting to know the grades. And you can really build up that skill level to be able to grade really well or pick really good coins. And this is quite a nice coin, but it's got a lot of softness in the strike here on the ram. So we're going to reject that guy. Lucky Larson, he's got a big fingerprint here, as well as some marks, so that one's definitely a reject. So we've ended up with a nice little group of coins here. I'm tempted to send them all just to show you guys the results and see what you get from picking out a really good selection. I think we'll pull out a couple of obvious ones to reject. So we've got a reject here, just a couple too many marks. So you can sort of know what I mean. I hold the tray and do a bit of rotating like this and lets you see all the marks, and you can sort of make some decisions on what you think are the worst off coins in the selection. So like we've got a couple here that aren't really marks, but there's some rubbing to the luster, which can also bring down the grade. And in a case like this, we've got a good little batch of coins. It's you know, it's worth saving. We're going to really pick out the best of them here actually. So I'm going to reject a couple more. So we've got two 61s and 8 62s there all together, so a good little batch to go off. It is a really good idea to look at these under magnification too. I haven't in this instance, but it does help a lot. I haven't really, just the limitations of the video, but it is a really good idea to look at them under magnification, and you can get to see all those marks up close, and it can help you make a better selection that way too. So next up here we've got a 1963 sixpence roll. So I bought this one actually quite a while ago, and it's been sitting waiting to be opened. So we're going for a 68 here. Looks like a really nice lustrous roll, so hopefully we'll have some good coin. Alright, so a really nice coin, but just one too many bag marks on that one there. Okay, really nice coin here. Again, one too many bag marks, but really lovely luster. Look, really blazing luster, which is a good thing, but just one too many marks, which is a shame. So this is the end coin, so you can see there that it's really darkly toned, which is going to be too much of a negative. Plus it's got quite a few marks on Queen Elizabeth there. A lovely coin, but one too many marks, so we'll skip that guy. This one's got quite a dark steely luster, and again some quite significant marks. Look, really clean surfaces on this coin, so not many marks in the fields of the coin, but on Queen Elizabeth's neck and shoulders we've got a couple of big marks there that are going to be detracting. Likewise, one too many marks on that coin. Really attractive coins, just a little bit too marked to get a top grade. Another nice coin, a little bit of golden toning. I think this one's good enough, we'll put it aside. It's probably just not quite good enough, but let's put it aside and we'll come back to it. Again, a couple too many marks there. Okay, really nice coin. A little bit of dark toning, which is not a great thing, but a really nice coin, so we'll put that one aside. One too many marks there, which is a shame. Marked. Marked. We're going to put this one aside. Nice coin, just a little bit of a dark golden toning, but not something that I think will be a positive. I think it'll be a negative on the coin, but we'll put it aside to review at the end. One too many marks. So you can sort of see what I mean, that rolls are often quite consistent. So we saw with the shilling roll that they were all quite nice, beautiful coins, quite decent grades, and then now in the sixpence roll we've got all a similar issues of quite heavily bag marked. And we saw the same with the 50-cent roll, again quite heavily marked. A little bit of golden toning through these coins too, which is not a great thing. A really beautiful blazing luster would be great. They're all 63. That one's really marked, that last one there. Alright, only a handful left to go. Look, some little marks, but actually a nice coin, so we'll put that one aside. Two marked. And these are really good coins to remember. These are like nice choice sunk coins, the ones that we were also passing on, even gem unk, but not quite up to the standard of getting a top grade, which is what we're really hunting for today. There's a lot of coins in here that would go MS66. That's another borderline coin. We'll put that one aside to review at the end as well. A couple of big marks on that one. Alright, so we've got 5 coins here. We're actually going to eliminate a couple. Look, they're all probably debatable whether we'd actually send them off going for top grade. I don't think either of these are going to go top grade. Let's send the 5 of them. Let's see what the results are. It'll be a really good experiment to show everyone at home what we're actually going to get out of these coins. But these are the 5 best of the roll. Okay guys, this is what we've ended up with. We've got 5 1963 sixpences, 2 1961 shillings, 8 1962 shillings, and 2 1980 double bar 50 cent. I think the shillings are going to be the best of the lot, so hopefully we get some good results out of them. You can see we've opened 3 rolls now, all original rolls, and haven't really got anything that's blown my mind today, but it does happen. So hopefully we're going to have some more videos in the future, and we're going to have some more tutorials about different parts to do with PCGS grading, as well as things to look for, as well as some exciting videos about opening different rolls when we're hunting for something special, like a no SD 2 cent coin, for example. Is always a bit of fun trying to open some of those rolls. Any questions, feel free to shoot them through, but otherwise we'll be back once these come back from PCGS. We're not going to look at the results before we open them, so we'll record that live so you guys get to see how we did, and hopefully we get some good results. Thanks very much for tuning in.